Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. I'm Manila Chan. That's Ted Rall. You are tuned in to the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we also do bring you way too much information and sometimes stuff you just really didn't want to know about, but we're going to make you know about it. And we do it live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So please be sure to hit the like, the follow, and the share button to help our little show continue to grow. We appreciate all the people that have subscribed. If you want to continue supporting this show for $5 a month. Wait, is that right, Robbie? It's $5 a month?
Yep.
You can subscribe just to the show. That goes purely
but
to
you can
us
support us
creators.
on YouTube for more.
Yeah, you could.
For more.
$10,000 a month is greatly appreciated.
Manila and I, we would prefer to get banned on YouTube.
Yes.
Well, you guys.
Ted is a YouTube
What's
fan.
the word? Dumb. It's like $10,000 a month.
Have you ever heard how I talk, Ted? I'm obviously dumb.
I mean,
you guys need
it's
to
a ban
stop
waiting to happen.
Your YouTube hatred.
That's so easy to hate, Ted.
Never. I'm scorned for life after they blew up my channel for no reason and I have no recourse. So, you know.
Well, you're a Russian bot, so you're evil.
Yeah. Well, right now, I mean, Susie from Unfiltered with Sam. They actually contacted her and said because her channel does not align with their values, they're throttling her channel.
What values?
Actually,
do they tell you what the values are?
Yeah, because what she did is that she released a video back in February. No, she's half Lebanese, encouraging Americans to get out and vote.
Or write to their congressman or whatever.
Vote or write to their congressman about, don't support what Israel's doing.
To Lebanon.
And that was enough for them. I mean, they have got their foot on the neck of her channel. That's the whole reason why I started coming over to Rumble.
Well, Robbie, don't you know that Alphabet owns YouTube, and Alphabet also does a lot of businesses and contracting with the Pentagon, and the Pentagon does business with Israel.
No, of course. One hand washes the other. So, that's why so I mean, I'll be releasing more of her content today over on Rumble. So, no, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, YouTube can go fuck itself. I don't know how much more clear I can be. You hear that, YouTube?
Here.
Go fuck yourself.
Here. I'm with you. Screw Alphabet, screw Google, screw YouTube.
Your harsh language is making me uncomfortable.
That's unfortunate.
That's the home for the snowflakes is YouTube. Not everybody, obviously. We can't account for everybody.
Yep, but while I'm here, you'll be going to read this ad?
Yes.
But YouTube is the home for where all the Karens live, and they complain about everything.
Well, YouTuber got me doxxed. So here we go.
That's right.
So Access Med, powered by Trinova Health, is a revolutionary telehealth service that offers fast, free online evaluations and free home delivery for customized compounded medications, offering custom weight loss support, ivermectin therapy, hair restoration, cosmetic rejuvenation, custom ED treatments, and more. You can complete your visit in less than 10 minutes, and there's no subscriptions or recurring fees. We've made getting started easier than ever. Simply follow the link, choose the product or treatment you're interested in, and then complete a quick online evaluation. Within days, your custom meds will arrive to your door. Mention Rumble and the coupon code and get 10% off your first treatment. See, YouTube is not going to give you that, Ted. YouTube is not going to support you financially. They're also going to rip your tongue out.
Do you think they would give a biological woman ED treatment if I asked?
Why not?
What would you do with it? All it is is blood pressure medicine.
Right, isn't it?
Well, they say that Viagra works for women, actually.
Well, Viagra is a heart medicine.
Really?
Yeah, because basically women
medicine.
With low sex drive often need a little boost, and it helps.
I was just goofing around, but I mean, with all these online telehealth, whatever, like I just wonder how they would respond to anybody that doesn't necessarily, we'll say, biologically align with what the intended course of treatment was made.
Well, you certainly don't have hair loss issues. As far as
not
we
this
can
time.
Tell. No.
Not this time, not with this pregnancy. But it's because of the whole breastfeeding thing. Did you guys know that? Like,
No, dish.
moms, like my first kid, I had all you keep all this luxurious hair when you're pregnant or whatever because your body hangs on to everything and all the nutrition and whatever, so you have this great luxurious hair, and then you breastfeed and it's still hanging on to all the nutrition and nutrients and whatever, but as soon as you're done breastfeeding, your body realizes that you're not, like, doing stuff for this little human that you created, and it's your body takes an exhale, and it's like, "Okay, we don't need to do all this shit and run on overdrive," and everything just falls apart. Your hair falls out, your skin goes through this, like, regeneration, like, it just your body just goes to shit for a little bit, and then it comes back, but it takes time. Holy shit, does it take time. Um,
Yeah, Kizzy lost a lot of hair because she breastfed.
that's right. So, I didn't breastfeed this time, so I kept all my hair. Thank God, because it barely all grew back. You know how long it takes to grow back long hair for things to be even? It was a mess. But anyway, so this is the TMI show, and we prefer Rumble, so if you wanna support us there, we'd appreciate it. So we got housekeeping out of the way. Let's get to the first stories. Robbie's wearing his Border Patrol hat.
Yep, I am.
Robbie has espoused his views on how to patrol the southern border. Um, so
It's ecologically sound. I don't have a problem with it.
yeah, I've been having nightmares about gators lately. That must mean something. I wonder. It's because I read a story about how Disney World recently cleaned up, um, I don't know, like, they caught, like, 800 gators or something at Disney World. Did you guys know that? And they removed them after, a toddler, like a 2 or 3-year-old was sitting along, like, the banks of one of the lakes, and a gator crept up and grabbed the little boy.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was, like,
happens.
2 years ago. Yeah, it was, like, 2 years ago, and well, Robbie's from swamp country in deep Florida, so that happened.
I used to swim with alligators. I mean, they're honestly, unless someone feeds them, they're not going to mess with you. They're actually more afraid of you than you are of them. But
But
that all changes when people start feeding them.
it came to the bank of the shore where the little boy was sitting and playing, like, in the sand,
Yeah.
and it came and grabbed him.
Yeah,
So
how do you
over the
explain that?
last yeah, like, he wasn't provoking anything, he was just sitting there, and the little toddler got grabbed by an alligator at
Oh,
Disney World.
no, he was a morsel. That's what that was. He was hungry.
It's just 'cause it saw, like, a little thing, a little
Yeah,
creature.
just
Yeah, I
like,
mean, they eat dogs a lot too.
I mean, alligators. Yeah, if you believe in evolution, probably an alligator and crocodiles too. I guess their superpower is that they can and will eat anything.
That's right. Crocodilians, that's why they haven't had to evolve much in 300 million years.
'Cause
They're
they
just they basically are the same thing. And like I remember seeing a nature special where there was a crocodile, I believe in the Amazon, and it leapt out of the water from like about 4 feet up out of the water and snatched a parrot that was sitting on a tree branch. And I was like thinking, why would that giant crocodile like expend the caloric energy to get
Right.
a little tiny parrot, right? But it's like that's the thing about crocodiles. They're like, it's if there's food, I'm gonna get it, and it's like if it's a net benefit, it's worth it. I'll eat anything and everything. So
Komodo dragons are that way.
Oh god. Well, that's I don't know, because I'm talking about alligators because
Komodo dragons are terrifying, by the way. I've seen them in Indonesia. Holy shit.
Robbie's southern border moat would
Mhm.
use up all of the gators that were captured at Disney World, but they captured, like, over 800 of them, and like, I have mixed feelings about this because Disney World happened to them, just the way California happened to the Mexicans. The gators were there. That is swampland.
Yeah.
And
It's their home.
it's right, it's their home. That's what's gonna happen when you build in swampland. Disneyland should have prevented people from being near,
World.
especially babies.
Disney World.
Well,
Disney World, sorry. I'm
you
used
know-
to saying Disneyland, obviously. Disney World. Should have prevented people from being that close to the water, especially a little toddler. But anyway, I read something recently, like in the past month or so, they were like, we've completed our gator, I don't know, hunt or whatever they called it. And I don't know what they did with them.
Genocide.
The purge. I don't know what they did with the gators.
Ethnic
I don't know if they're
cleansing.
relocated. I don't know what happened to the gators, but I have mixed feelings because it's like, well, Disney World is there.
They should
Do
be.
we want
they should
anybody
just
else's
mail them to
toddler eaten?
Just mail them to Tel Aviv and let them deal with it.
We already did a story about that, Ted. They was it gators or crocs or whatever at that croc farm or gator farm or whatever in Israel.
It was Egyptian crocodiles.
Egyptian crocs. And
Nile River crocodiles is what they were.
The Israelis just like starved them all and then decided to call them.
Well, it's the Israeli way, right?
Starve everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing,
and if it don't die, then you shoot it.
Well, Modi, he did take a page out of Robbie's book
because crocodiles were lucky not to have been raped.
While you were on your vacation, after your baby, I'm calling it a vacation.
Right.
Modi took a page out of Robbie's book, and he's along the Bangladeshi border. They have been stocking the rivers with alligators.
Get out!
Me and Ted covered the story.
We did, yeah.
He did. So he took a page out of Robbie's handbook, and there's a real concern.
Well, maybe that's where the Disney gators went.
That the crocs might not survive, right?
They'll be fine. There's plenty of
They're different. They're not indigenous to that particular part of Bangladesh.
They will be perfectly fine. I promise you. They are hardy, and so long as there's enough Bangladeshis going across to feed them, it's not going to be a problem at all.
God.
And if it works there, there's no reason why it cannot work here. And listen, I'm telling you, it's biologically sound. As an environmentalist, I support a very small footprint for ecological disturbance. Personally, I think that we should bring those Ganges River sharks and just put them loose in the Rio Grande. They need a fresh water supply. They need a good home. We can provide that.
Well,
put them in the Rio Grande. Great.
The problem with your Rio Grande theory is that those freshwater sharks, they like to leap out of the river and grab people and pull them in. So they would likely be pulling in American-born native citizens who were standing by the shore.
That's a feature, not a bug.
Oh my God! Okay,
I don't listen. I mean, no sacrifices must be made. if we're going to use bioweapons to defend the border,
this is a bioweapon.
That's what you need to do. And
I can get with this bioweapon because it doesn't involve Fauci and a bunch of cover-ups. It's hard to cover up, 817 gators that you capture from Disney.
Yeah, I want to know what happened to them all. Are they all?
I don't know.
Are they all
probably killed
shoes
them.
and purses now? Or
I'm sure they put them down.
But they don't go to waste, right? I mean, like I'm not for killing them, but if you're gonna kill them, they can be food. Their skins make, nice whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the gator skin boots are fantastic. Like they're very water resistant. You just got to oil them down occasionally.
I bet.
And the women like purses. You got belts, and you can eat them. I mean,
I hope they didn't just
sell them to the Cajuns. No, they gave them to the Cajuns. I guarantee it. And the Cajuns just took care of it.
I gotta say, frankly, I don't think they. I cannot. I'm kind of on Team Manila. I don't think they should have been removed because they're indigenous. But if you're gonna remove them, you shouldn't kill them.
Right. Don't. But if they did kill them, I'm going to go that extra step. If they did kill them, I hope it went towards a good cause and not just go to waste. Like
it should be something entertaining, like set them loose on the red carpet during the Oscars or something.
Yeah, John D. Rockefeller just offered to make us a bioweapon. I will take you up on that. If it targets illegal immigrants,
he's a scientist. He's a mad scientist.
If it can target the
no
illegal
bioweapon,
immigrants,
that's a violation of YouTube's terms. No.
Listen, YouTube, we will do it. COVID was fake.
Oh my
Your
God.
shot was fake.
Stop. Quiet.
Robbie, I'm not going to stop Robbie on that.
The vaccine is safe and effective. Dr. Fauci
All right.
is like Jesus himself.
Is a god. Is a god. All right. With that, let's get to the actual planned show. Thank you, Robbie. God. All right. I got to go a little more on this Keir Starmer thing because Trump has been yapping about it on Truth Social. So we have to. So President Donald Trump's attack on Britain's now outgoing Prime Minister Keir Starmer for failing to help the United States in the Iran war was oddly enough one thing that did win him a measure of support at home.
Why would that be odd?
Well,
I mean, Trump's
his
not
polling is
popular
really
in the
bad.
UK, right?
No, his polling is really bad, but that's here. Like his polls went up because he criticized Starmer,
Right.
which is
You mean no? Starmer's polls went up.
no. Trump's polls. I think that's how I understood the article. So Starmer's downfall to become the 6th British prime minister in a decade. Okay, sounds another warning for Western democracies that find themselves in a similar position over the fundamental mismatch between what voters demand from their governments and the understanding of the price that the same voters are willing to pay or think they can get someone else to pay. In Starmer's case, part of his demise was undoubtedly due to the stiffness of his personality. I think there was a little more to that story than his.
It said part.
Yucky. Yeah, a lot more. A lot more. I don't think that his personality was.
It was part of it.
You think so? He's as likable as Hillary Clinton.
Like I said, part of it was that.
Prime Minister in waiting. It's like a lady in waiting. Andy Burnham from the same leftist Labour Party. They call themselves leftists. I don't get that. He has a cheerier personality, they say. But he knows he needs to come up with answers to problems that have raised the question of whether Britain, which long styled itself as the cradle of democracy, I don't think so, is becoming impossible to govern. As Burnham put it, quote, people want to see progress on economic growth, cost of living, public services, housing, and opportunities for the next generation. That's true, but it now goes much deeper in a fragmented country of communities across wealth, class, race, religion, geography, and more. Plus, there's no money left to spend. The only thing that's generally held in common is a belief that the system can provide more for everyone's pet interests than it can. Burnham didn't cite immigration, which has fueled the rise of anti-immigration parties such as Nigel Farage's Reform. For opponents, including Britain's establishment, the anger is driven by far-right racist demagogues and social media, quote, misinformation. Starmer's own attempt to square the circle with tougher immigration rules only alienated his own base. Those who think the problems can be solved by deporting immigrants are as wrong as those who think the anti-immigrant sentiment can be ended by social media crackdowns. Then there are the divisions over the green policies that have pushed up energy prices. Over demands for an increase in defense spending, over whether to reverse economically painful Brexit from the European Union, and from some on the left and Muslim constituencies for a tougher stance against Israel. Meanwhile, the state already spends more than half its income on welfare and health, with that set to rise much further as the population ages and the proportion of younger people, particularly those in work, falls. Borrowing is already sending a monthly interest bill soaring, and suggestions of more creative debt raising or new taxes on billionaires to allow more, they say, investments are no guarantee of success. In any democracy, it's a lot easier to reach power by promising to work magic than it is by being realistic. It's also a recipe for rapid turnover of prime ministers. So the article, I feel like, considering this is from Newsweek, it's written kind of clunky. Ted, wouldn't you say if you were the editor?
Oh my God, it's written like shit.
What a horrible, clunky
this is what
article.
happens when you fire all the real journalists and you hire a bunch of 26-year-olds.
It was fucking horrible to read right now. And Yes, I could have spent time editing it, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna read it in all its glory. It's clunky as fuck. I don't understand what it's trying to say. Um, I think it's criticizing Keir Starmer and how it's basically telling us that why the British government is falling apart. Immigration has a lot to do with it. They can't afford it. Too many immigrants, I think, is what it's implying, and that the labor, the left, which is a shitty left, Ted. Like we complain about our left, but
Well,
labor, I
it's
mean,
similar. It's like the Democratic Party. It is.
yeah,
It's
they're
corporate. It's the same.
it's the same, totally the same. They all suck. So I don't know. The only thing I can somewhat appreciate about them, 6 PMs in 10 years is kind of a lot, but I do appreciate that they can push people that they don't like out very quickly, whereas we're stuck with the guy for
For the
that
rest of
4-year
our
cycle.
fucking lives. We
Yeah.
should move on. We have other stuff to talk about that's more fun.
Yeah, this one's not that fun, but that's what we're watching in the UK, and I don't know if Andy Burnham is gonna entertain Trump with the Iran stuff. I don't know if that's plays into the calculation, Ted. Do you think so?
Not really. No.
You don't think so? You don't think, Trump might take a because remember, he has 60 days still to work out a final deal with Iran, and in
Mm.
those 60 days, we're looking at getting a new PM in England
Mhm.
that might kowtow to Trump.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah, the English people are not in the mood to join Trump on his latest stupid adventure.
I hope you're right. All right, let's hit the jaws.
All right, for the first time since COVID shut down movie theaters around the world, Hollywood is asking a question: what if movie theaters actually survive? After years of streaming dominance, layoffs in the industry, writers' strikes, and predictions that cinemas are headed for extinction, 2026 is the strongest year for theaters since before the pandemic. Latest sign: Toy Story 5 opens this weekend to a massive $160 million domestic debut, $312 million globally. It's the biggest opening of the year so far and the biggest in the franchise's history. So for the first time in years, theaters are not being carried by a single blockbuster movie. Family movies, horror movies, animated originals, biopics, sci-fi adventures, and franchise sequels have all posted strong results. Industry analysts say that the box office in the US is on pace for its best performance since before COVID in 2020. Total domestic revenue has already reached $4.5 billion this year and could approach the $10 billion mark if current momentum continues. So, what's the surprise here? It's that people are leaving their houses to go see movies. For years, conventional wisdom said that streaming had permanently changed market consumer preferences. Why spend $15 on a movie ticket? Ha! Good luck finding a $15 movie ticket.
Really?
$27 on the Upper West Side of Manhattan,
No.
when you can wait a few weeks and watch from your couch. That logic helped fuel countless predictions that theaters would become niche attractions rather than a mainstream pastime. But in fact, if for audiences still show up for some movies, whether it's Toy Story 5, Super Mario Galaxy movie, Project Hail Mary, or surprise horror successes, viewers will still show up and buy tickets if the experience feels bigger than what they can get from Netflix or HBO Max. That doesn't mean that theaters are returning to pre-pandemic levels. Before COVID, annual domestic box office revenue routinely was over $11 billion. Most analysts say that's never going to happen again. Streaming isn't going away, and consumer habits have permanently changed. But it may be that movie theaters are still part of the equation, and are not going to be completely dead as a doornail. So that's good news for people who love movies as much as I do.
You're a movie buff, but are
I
you a theater
love
guy?
movies. I'm a huge movie buff. I love all kinds of movies, and it is absolutely true that seeing it in the theater just isn't the same as seeing it at home. I have a nice setup at home. I like watching my TV, my movies at home, but even so, and I'm lazy as the next guy, but every now and then there's just nothing like getting in the car and going to a theater and getting popcorn and just, and having a shared experience with other people.
That.
It's that communal thing. Even just
I
hearing the
think it's that.
reactions, the audience laughing or crying or whatever, it's a huge thing. Not to mention, we live in an age now where we have the highest resolution, right, we've ever had as moviegoers, right? Like the level of the graphics is above and beyond. And like you can't, even on a good 4K home system, it's not the same as the movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, so if you care about the visuals, it's not going to be the same, but I mean, it's cool. It's a little old timey. I've even noticed that there's a sort of a renaissance in drive-through
Drive-ins.
drive-in theaters. Yeah. So
yeah, that started becoming a thing, at least in the DC area, because people wanted to get out of the city, and it started becoming a thing, like drive-ins outside of the DMV metro, which is a 30-mile radius. People would drive far and away because of COVID to go watch a movie at an old-timey drive-in, which I think is cool. I've never actually been to one. The one that I grew up
I have.
near one.
Yeah.
It shut down before I was old enough to actually. Maybe they took me when I was a kid. I don't know, but before I was old enough to remember, it was shut down and turned into a swap meet, which was cool. I was forced to work at the swap meet. Child labor.
That's too bad.
Asian child labor, yeah. But that's what they did, and that's where I got great books and stuff. And at least they utilized the space. But anyway, the movie theater thing, I would say you hit the nail on the head. Is there's nothing like people being together and laughing in unison or being sad in unison. It's the little bit of community that we have left, Ted, because
Look,
everybody is.
I mean, you can ask Robbie about this. It's like church. You can pray privately, but church, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the communal experience of attending services is different.
Yeah, I'm not into that, but I'm into praying privately. But when it comes to like going to a concert, like nowadays concerts, they show them on Netflix or whatever now. They do like a whole concert experience, like Taylor Swift Eras Tour or
well, they
whatever.
do that at the movies too, right? You can go and see like
then they show it. They show the concert.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that's not the same. Like, why would you go watch a film, like a documentary almost, of the concert? It's not the same as being at the concert.
Well, if it's a concert, if you live in like a place where you don't get a lot of concerts, or you're too old, or you're too young and you missed it, you want to see what the Rolling Stones were like in 1972 or whatever. Yeah,
maybe. I mean, I don't know about, maybe historically, yes, but I'm saying like now, like Taylor Swift's Eras Tour or whatever, that becomes a box office hit. Like, that's bizarre to me. But it's the communal thing that I think a lot of the Gen Zers are missing out on. Like, people like you and I, Ted, we grew up in an analog time, and we dated from meeting people at bars, and we went out like normal. We went to school and college in person, right? That's how we met people. We socialized. The Gen Zers, this is like one of their very limited ways of having this communal experience. Or like when I was a teenager, like or as a kid, TGI Friday, like they would have whatever program, like family programming. Remember, every Friday night?
No, I don't know about this.
Well, you would have been like in college at that point. Fridays was like family programming of like Family Matters and stuff like that.
Really? That's like on a big projection screen TV?
No. I just mean like it was this TV show lineup that everybody.
Oh, I thought you thought
at school
the food chain TGI Fridays.
No. I mean, like it was called. They marketed the whole thing as TGI. Like, thank goodness it's Friday, because you're going to get all these shows back to back to back, like all the hottest shows on, I don't know, maybe it was ABC. But that was an also shared
Well, that's like
communal
must see
experience.
TV, must see TV, right? That was like Thursdays.
Thursday was NBC's, was it NBC? Yeah, NBC, where it had Friends and whatever,
Seinfeld.
and all of that, must-see TV. But that was later. But, like, it started out in the '80s, and then you'd go back to school on Monday and tell all your friends, like, "Did you see Steve Urkel did
But
whatever?"
that's not a communal experience. You're sitting at home watching it.
No, there's that level, I'm saying, that you had something to share that you all watched, because there was nothing else to watch. There were 6 channels to watch, right?
True. Hmm.
So this generation has, Gen Alpha and Gen Z have a bazillion things they can watch, and nobody sees the same thing. It's not very likely that your friend watched the same thing you watched on Friday. So it's kind of nice to hear that people are going back out to movies. I'm not a big movie buff, much less a movie theater going person. I don't like the crowds. I don't like feeling trapped, like, next to a bunch of strangers. I don't like that. So,
People
unless I
kicking the
can,
back of your seat.
oh god, I hate that. So unless it's one of those theaters, I make it an event that you can pick your seat before, like, you buy
Oh, what about the
that
ones?
seat.
Do you ever go to like the ones where you can like get food at your seats, like where you can get a burger or
Yes,
whatever,
in Los Angeles,
Like Alamo Draft House? So
I
good.
forget what it's called, but in Los Angeles, like, we started doing that many, many, many years ago when I still lived there, and you would do that. You buy the seats that you want, and it's
Yeah,
like recliner seats, and you
so
can
good.
eat, like, a whole steak and whatever.
Totally.
Like, you have a mini table in front of you, like, it swings around. That's a movie-going experience. Like,
Yeah.
short of that, you're like, "What is this? Slumming it? No, thanks."
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually went to the movies this year for the first time in forever. And
What
by
did you
we, I
see?
mean me. But well, the first movie that we saw was, and Ted, you'd actually enjoy this movie. I recommend it to you. I don't know if you watched it. A Great Awakening. Incredibly good movie. It's about George Whitfield. He's probably one of the most powerful preachers like in history, and you can really make the case that he's the one that actually started the American Revolution. That's how powerful of a preacher it was that he was, and he was good friends with Benjamin Franklin, who is like Ted is an atheist. So it's like a Robbie and Ted um, movie set back before before the Revolutionary War. Incredibly good movie, very well done. Highly recommend it. A lot of your Christian movies are very preachy and they're very cheesy. This one is not. It is a historical drama. It's well done.
By the
That
way,
talked
speaking of
about a
which,
pastor.
how come no one's ever done a, like there are so many like classic, great cast of thousands religious movies like Ben-Hur, the 10
Mhm.
Commandments. How come no one's ever done, I'm not even kidding, like a really straight biopic of Jesus? I mean, a good one. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
The Passion of the Christ, I think is
Oh.
seriously worth seeing. I think it's excellent.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, I know Mel's working on a sequel now. It's supposed to come out like very soon, but
Oh.
like I don't know, or prequel or something. But there's no like. I mean, you would just think that like Christ deserves like 10 or 15 biopics, right?
Well, I think a big reason is we don't know really anything about his early life. His ministry started when he was in his 30s. We got a couple of snapshots of him when he was a kid.
Well, he was
Once
a
went to
spicy teenager. We know that.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he ditched his stepdad and mom to go and talk to the rabbis in the temple, and they
Break a
didn't
few
realize that
things.
they left him. So yeah, well, that's before he started breaking things. But no, I mean, that's why uh, the Chosen. That's the Amazon thing. It's kind of like a Christian soap opera, for
Yeah,
lack of
it
a better thing.
sucks.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with it.
I'm just
It
surprised.
has a
You
lot.
know what I mean? It's like it seems like no brainer. Like built-in audience of hundreds of millions. How can you go wrong? I'm not
Well, I
kidding
mean,
at
yeah,
all.
that's true. If nowadays the box office elites, the people that control Hollywood, if their goal now is $10 billion for the year, which, by the way,
Even people like me would go see it. I mean, it's like if it
really?
were good.
Well, you
Yeah.
got to.
Before, they're talking 11 billion was easy. Now they're like hoping and praying that they get to 10 billion. If you do like a mass Christian appeal type movie, a lot of, like,
Listen,
you do it right.
like you could do this all day long. Life of Muhammad. There's all sorts of things you could do like that.
Well, Muhammad has a super interesting life. I mean, the dude is a warlord. I mean, he
Mhm.
was. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Maybe those
Yeah,
movies
I mean,
exist.
no,
We
he,
just don't know.
he was.
And people are curious, and they know they don't know about it. And
No.
this is like they don't want to read the book, but they would go to the movies for 2 hours.
But would they go to the movies or would they wait for it to stream? Something like
Some
that.
of them would. A lot of them would wait for it to stream. But if it was one of those like beautiful productions filmed in Jordan, like that kind of thing, people
Right,
would
with
go.
Petra in the background, and it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Lawrence of Arabia style. Yeah.
Me and Thomas, we went and we watched the Mortal Kombat 2 movie there at the theater. Most video game movies are very cheesy. This was actually was well done. It was a lot of fun.
really?
Oh yeah. Most video game movies suck.
Look, I think the
just
thing
do.
is, subject's not important. I don't watch sports ever, but some of my favorite films are sports movies because sports are a great topic for film.
Have you ever seen Mr. Baseball?
No.
Oh, you got to see it. It's Tom Selleck. You've got to watch Mr. Baseball.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I need to see that.
There's just a washed up pro baseball player gets traded to a Japanese team, and
Rocky
it's just
franchise is great.
just completely awesome.
The
Great
Natural
movie.
is great. 8 Men Out is great. North Dallas 40, great.
No, but I think that to answer your question, like why they would not be able to make a real movie about Christ is because if diversity is our strength and you have to include everybody, Christianity, that is going to cause a lot of problems. Because if you have a movie that comes out and says, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life, no one comes to the Father but by me, that's not an inclusive statement. And so that would just cause a lot of backlash. And also, if you figure it's all the Jewish influence that's there in Hollywood, are they going to finance a movie about a man that they say that's boiling in hell and shit in excrement? The answer is probably not. That's one of the reasons why the Passion of the Christ, though, got and still continues to get a lot of flack because it's considered anti-Semitic, which, by the way, it is because Christ is king, and that is anti-Semitic. That is an offensive statement to Jews. But I mean,
and with
that's true.
And with that, we'll leave that movie talk right there. So,
Okay.
But
sorry, Robbie, we only have like 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes left to get through the rest of the topics. But yes, I swear I'm gonna let Robbie like tape his own like Rumble Premium episode of him ranting about like this topic. I swear, just let him do it. Just let him have it. What do you think?
It's not even a rant. I genuinely, I do find it mystifying just because there'd be so much money to be made.
No, I agree. Robbie has a lot of insights. Obviously, he's the only practicing anything of this group here, but practicing Christian and very serious fundamentalist Christian. So, I mean, he knows a great deal. He's a voracious reader, so he knows a great deal about this stuff. But this one is a Manila topic, another food topic. So, if you were a high school, if food marketing were a high school yearbook, some products would win most likely to mislead. Ha ha. Every year, millions of Americans buy food wrapped in what nutrition experts call a health halo. Products that look healthy, sound healthy, and are marketed as healthy, but often aren't much better than the junk food that they're supposedly replacing. Take, for example, granola bars. Many people see oats, nuts, and words like natural or whole grain and assume they're making a smart choice. In reality, some granola bars contain as much sugar as a candy bar, along with highly processed ingredients hiding behind wholesome packaging. Then there's flavored yogurt. Yogurt itself can be a nutritious food. The problem is that many flavored varieties are loaded with added sugar. Some contain nearly as much sugar as a whole dessert like cheesecake. Just eat a real cheesecake. Don't eat cheesecake flavored yogurt. Just eat cheesecake. Like, just seriously. Because it's loaded with added sugar. Same thing happens with smoothies, protein shakes, acai bowls. That's such a thing in California. What'd you have for breakfast? I ordered an acai bowl. Acai bowls, veggie chips, vitamin water, and Not the, sorry, 50 Cent, I'm not talking about your product. Don't sue me for libel. We're talking about vitamin waters, like these flavored beverages that claim they're water, not your product, vitamin water. It's fantastic. I love it. Thank you, 50 Cent. Vitamin waters and sweetened oatmeal packets. They often start with genuinely healthy ingredients before being transformed into calorie bombs with sugars, syrups, oils, other flavorings, and of course, oversized portions. Perhaps the biggest lesson is that food companies have become masters of highlighting one positive trait while distracting consumers from everything else. They'll say low fat, gluten free, protein packed, organic. Those labels aren't necessarily false, they're just often incomplete. A food can be organic and still be loaded with sugar. It can be high in protein and still be highly processed. It can be gluten free and still be nutritional junk food. That's a new term, Ted. Nutritional junk food.
It's ridiculous. I mean, yes, okay, so they're not illegally false, but
Right.
my big beef with fucking labeling in like the supermarket.
This
is
is
that
what I
you
would
should-
like RFK Jr. to
You
step
should
in
not have
and
to be a fucking like linguist or a lawyer
right.
to try to discern these
I
things.
want
You should be
RFK to
able,
step in.
anyone should be able to walk to something and very quickly suss out whether it's healthy or not. They shouldn't have to read the ingredients. It should be like,
Google the words,
yeah,
Google what
no,
this means.
yeah, no, I mean, people aren't going to do that. They can't be expected to do it. It's unreasonable. It's like the government should be in the business of labeling these things, with some kind of protocol. It could be like a 1 to 10 scale. I don't know, color, something. But you should be able to look at it and be like, oh, like this be super healthy. This
Right.
be less super healthy. This is gross and will kill you. Like there should be something that like
Right.
just lets
It's
you know that.
such deceptive marketing, and that's one of
Organic
the
doesn't mean much at all. Arsenic is
no.
fucking organic. I mean, it comes
No,
from
like
the earth.
that's what I would like to see Kennedy really step in. And this I think would fall
He's
under
not doing
USDA.
dick.
I think this falls under USDA, right? Like the food labeling and stuff.
Yeah.
That's USDA stuff. But still, that's all under HHS. It's under the HHS
Mhm.
umbrella. So USDA really, like that agency under the umbrella of HHS, really needs to re-examine what has been allowed, like the fuckery that's been happening with our foods, like increasingly becoming more and more difficult to decipher without using AI to scan the label for you and tell you what things are.
Ridiculous.
Like that shouldn't be the case. Like that's why I tried like yesterday, for dinner I made a steak, had a block of cheddar cheese that I chopped into cubes and little the little golden potatoes. Like I just tossed it in olive oil and some sea salt and some pepper and put it in the air fryer. It's food, like whole complete foods. That's the only thing I can trust that isn't, they're not sneaking some glyphosate shit. I mean, they might still be, but because it's part of the growing process here with Monsanto foods. But at least they're not, I'm not getting snuck in with some additional added sugars masquerading as something else by another name. Because I cannot trust our food system. Like, I don't know what caused my breast cancer, and yes, being that it was stage 0, like thank God it was found so early. But my BRCA tests were double negatives. I had I mean, I don't know. Could it have been from my early years of smoking? Is it
Well,
environmental
that didn't
from
help.
food? I mean, wouldn't that appear as lung cancer though? So I don't know. I'm trying to narrow down what happened, what environmental trigger happened to me, right? Like, so I'm trying to eat foods that I can pronounce without the help of ChatGPT explaining what it is before I buy it. So this is where I would most like to see RFK step in, because if he can't force the hand of the food companies, right, like Kraft or whoever, if he can't force their hand, what he can do is change labeling law. Like you said, I don't know what that would be. If it's like you get a 1 star for being most whole real food, or 5-star rather, and then a 1-star when the further away you get. Like, I don't know what it would be, but he can change labeling law. He has that within his power. That's why the story yesterday about the Norwegian soccer team bringing their own fucking cargo ship of food because they don't want to eat our slop, that should say something about like America and like why our healthcare costs are going through the roof. We have no like, Medicare is spread thin for a very many reasons. But then Social Security, Ted, you might be able to get a little bit of it. I might be able to get a smidgen, but by the time my kid is grown, that system's going to be fucking bust. And because we're spending all of that money on the existing boomers who grew up, who decided to eat microwave meals in front of the TV microwave meals like that. Oh, this is fast and normal. Let's eat this. And now they all have like some form of cancer of some sort and they're all living to be 100.
Yeah.
And we're paying for that. Well, let's not do that to the next generation. RFK Jr. can change labeling law.
But obviously he can't. The Trump administration only has 2 years left. It's going to be hobbled after the midterm elections. They're going to be spending the next 2 years in federal investigations and maybe impeachments and stuff. Probably impeachments. So all of that, I mean, they're finished. RFK needed to come out like a monster, like immediately last year. And that just didn't happen. Obviously, there's so much pressure from big food and big ag.
yeah.
They're just not letting it happen. They're breathing down his neck.
I'm
There's
sure.
just no fucking way. Nothing's going to happen because the administration didn't make it a place where they wanted to spend political capital. And it's too bad. I mean, while Trump was fucking around, sucking up to the Israelis and starting stupid wars, we could have been declaring war on the number one killer of Americans instead. But
heart disease, in case people
literally,
didn't know.
the terrorists are not Muslim. The terrorists are working at big food.
Yes. Oh my God.
They're killing us by the millions. They're killing us all.
Well, you know what my smug American joke was when I lived in Dubai? When you go to any mall, even the highest end luxury mall, and there are many in Dubai, you go to the food court, you're going to see tasty brands, right? Which is like KFC, Taco Bell, whatever.
Of course.
Or Yum, sorry, they're Yum brands. And there's McDonald's everywhere. But they love them some KFC out in Dubai. Those Emiratis, they love some KFC. And you look around, and this is like almost 20 years ago, Ted. I'd look around and I'd see little fat, misbehaving Arab kids wearing white dish dashes, the little boys running around, right, wearing those white gowns, right? And they're kind of adorable with their little cherub cheeks, but they're little shit asses because their parents won't like get them in line. But they're all fat. They're all like fat, portly. And I looked around, every place I went was American junk food. Everywhere. And they were all queued up. It was only the local population queued up to go buy KFC and stuff. I wasn't in line there. I was like getting a salad or something like, and I'd be like, oh my God. So this is how George Bush wants to kill everybody, wants to kill all the Arabs. We're just going to export.
The war on terror is moving along nicely.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, that's how they're doing it. We don't need to drop bombs on them. We're just going to drop calorie bombs and kill the next generation.
Manila, we have 7 minutes left. We have one more story.
Yeah, it's a sad story. So anyway, this is like a shitty thing about all of our foods and it affects all of us. So, and JDC says the Europeans bringing their own food here says more about European smugness than it does about our food. No, it says about our food too. It's two things can be true at once. They're not mutually exclusive. They both can be true at once. And also everyone's like packing ranch dressing. Ted, did you know that?
I did know. Yeah. It's funny, and I always hated ranch dressing until I became older. Anyway, a former FBI hostage negotiator flagged a dark detail in the new Nancy Guthrie ransom note delivered to the family on Monday. In that note, Guthrie's abductors claimed that the 84-year-old mom of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie had been buried with nature now, according to a source close to the investigation, who spoke to News Nation reporter Brian Enton. Chip Massey, former hostage negotiator, told CNN's Aaron Burnett that the abductors also included details in the note that point to where the investigation may go next. The messaging itself, Aaron, as you pointed out, is also interesting because now we're shifting, Massey said. The captors have shifted from a point of leverage. Now it seems like they're trying to manage the narrative. Guthrie vanished from her home in Tucson in the middle of the night in late January after seeing her family at a dinner engagement. The authorities have only released a few details about the suspects or their motives, other than a few pictures captured by the doorbell camera at the Guthrie house. Massey said the new note suggests that the abductors want to convince the Guthries and possibly the public that Guthrie's death was an accident. Whatever the wording is, that's a narrative control, he said. So what we're seeing is that perhaps they're thinking in the event that we're caught, or we want the public to see us in this light, as opposed to murderous kidnappers. But that's not really the real reason that they would send that note, right? So the reason that we think that this note is authentically from the people who kidnapped Savannah's mom is because they had lots of details about the site that were never released to the public. They knew things that other people didn't know. That's why law enforcement thinks it's authentic. Now, why would you say, like, hey, listen, she's buried now with nature? You would say that because you'd want the authorities to stop looking as much, right? It's to take the heat off you. Like, you've killed her, you've given up any possibility of collecting ransom money, and you're basically notifying the family she's dead. And so you're hoping that the FBI and Tucson PD and Arizona State Police, decide, like, well, okay, at this point, it's a body recovery operation, and it's also, of course, an attempt to hold those responsible. This would be murder if they were caught, because if you die while you're being kidnapped, of course, it's murder. It's at least second-degree murder. So the authorities are still going to want to catch them. I don't think it's going to reduce the detectives' interest in capturing them, but no doubt the kidnappers are hoping that it's sort of like it's sort of like saying, like, look, it's not a race against time anymore. Maybe there's other things you could focus on. That's what this is about, right?
How awful and sad. I mean, Ted, you and I both are
It's not a
public
surprise.
figures. No, it's a sad, likely conclusion to this horrible saga this poor family has gone through. But Ted, you and I both being public figures, you much longer than I have. But this is why I don't reveal my children's names. I don't mention my husband. I don't mention anyone in my life by name.
Yeah.
This is why. Like, anybody that's close to me, this is why, because I've had psycho stalkers. Like, I've been on TV for a long time, right? Local media, radio, whatever. And I've had crazy ass stalkers.
Yeah, it's normal. It's almost
one
impossible.
thing to me. It's one thing to happen to you, the person that's on air, right? It's another thing to weigh on your conscience that your child, your mother, your father, whatever, your loved one, that they're put in danger because of you, because of your career choice.
Now that
What a
I totally feel
horrible
that
thing
way.
to live
Like,
with.
come after me if you want. I mean, I'd rather you didn't, but but please leave the people I care about alone. It's not, they have nothing to do with it. It's not fair. It's not their fault.
Yeah. It's really sad. This little old lady, like if you wanted, I don't know if they were obsessed with Savannah or they just wanted money from Savannah.
They wanted the money, clearly.
That's all. Yeah, it's just, what a horrible, and for the record, I'm poor. So you're not going to get anything out of me. I'm just like
blood
a working
from a
class
stone.
middle. So you ain't going to get anything by kidnapping my mom. So I'll be like, well, fuck. That sucks.
The thing
Can't
is,
offer you any
there's not a
Bitcoin.
lot of cases where, kidnapping is not really a very successful crime very often,
No.
right? I mean,
Ransoming.
I mean, yeah, it's like you
I made it a
kidnap
verb.
someone, you have to get it first. I mean, think about how tricky it is. You have to, if for it to work, you have to return someone alive and manage to collect the money without getting caught. Now, otherwise, it doesn't work. And the thing is, so getting the money is rough. Returning, but if you return the person alive, well, I mean, they spend time with you. They know things about you.
Right.
And that's going to help you get caught. So it's rough. I mean, most of the time it doesn't work. You get caught. They get the
Yeah,
negotiations
Robbie brings up
dragged
the
down.
Lindbergh baby. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Yeah. Charles Lindbergh's
it's kind of
baby.
a stupid fucking crime, really.
Yeah. Kidnapping for ransom.
And
I'm not saying
and the
kidnapping for
penalties
other
are
reasons
very
is good.
severe. The penalties are very severe, right? I mean, like you can in many states it's the death penalty.
Is it really?
Yeah, kidnapping. Yeah, kidnapping and murder are kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew this was going to happen. The story's kind of faded. The little yellow ribbons they were all wearing is kind of faded. But I think everyone over time, like after the first, 2, 3 days, you can pretty much bank on that person being donezo, right? So I think Savannah Guthrie's family knew because they put out that weird Instagram statement or video because they received this letter telling her family that mom was now with nature quite a while back, but investigators are only now releasing those details. I don't know why. I don't know about the timing, but the Guthries have responded and said, we came to terms with that a while back, and like how awful. But that's the shitty thing is like the fame, the fortune, but at the end of the day, like your mom, your kids, your family, that's all that matters. And
No
that's
doubt.
why I never, ever, ever brought my mom on air, never brought my kids on air, never don't want to do it, not gonna do it.
I brought my mom on air, but
Did you? Well,
I would
she's
have felt
passed
terribly
now.
sorry for anyone that ever tried to fuck with her. She would have eaten
And this
them
is
like a
why
fucking crocodile.
this is why I don't when I talk about, it's in Robbie's case, like it's his choice if he wants to name his kids, or his kids are kind of older now and they can choose if they want to be on air. Ted's kid, I don't name Ted's kid. I know Ted's kid. I don't name Ted's kid for this reason, because Ted has ruffled some feathers over the course of 30 years.
It's been known to happen.
So you just never know what kind of people are out there. And this is a stark reminder, and it's sad and gross. But anyway,
Yeah,
what a downer
is.
way to end Tuesday. Sorry.
Tuesday. All right.
Ugh. All right. That's it for us. We'll be back mañana. Weird News Wednesday. Look for weird news, Ted.
It's weird news every day on TMI.
On the TMI show. Yes,
It's
a lot of weird stuff.
Wednesday. It's every day. All right.
All right, everybody.
Bye,
Thank you for
Manila.
being here.
Bye,
Adios,
everyone.
amigos. Bye.
Ciao.